Good morning. Just waking up right now, but here are my bets for UFC 276. Now, when it comes to the preliminary card and the undercard, all that stuff, I decided not to bet on the prelims and the undercard. Even though there are a lot of big names on the prelims and the undercard, I'm rooting for Uriah Hall in particular. I'm rooting for Robbie Lawler in particular. Even though there are big names on the undercard, preliminary card, whatever you want to call it, I just decided to bet on the main card this time around. I got the main card right in front of me, and I'm going to choose who I'm betting on to win. So here we go. When it comes to Pedro Munhoz versus Sean O'Malley, I know that Pedro Munhoz is a tough guy. Don't get me wrong. Whenever I see somebody with that much cauliflower in their ears, I know that they're a tough son of a bitch. Pedro Munhoz is definitely really tough. He's really strong, and he's definitely going to make Sean O'Malley work for it if Sean O'Malley wants to win this time around. I'm rooting for Sean O'Malley to win. I'm a big Sean O'Malley fan. He has really good striking accuracy, all that stuff, and I just his attitude towards the sport, for the most part, I believe is a good attitude towards the sport, and I believe that he's going to be the victor in this particular bout. So I decided to bet $20 on Sean O'Malley. Now, when it comes to the women flyweight bout between Loren Murphy versus Misha Tate, I'm a huge Misha Tate fan. I think I said that before. I can't remember. I might have said that before. I definitely said that before to one of my friends who loves the UFC. I'm like, yeah, I'm a huge Misha Tate fan. But when it comes to Loren Murphy versus Misha Tate, I feel like Misha Tate already fucking retired a couple of times already. I feel like she's just doing it for the money now instead of for the love of the sport. No offense. I mean, that's how some people are, but there was a time when I was like, yeah, I love you, Misha Tate. And she's still super gorgeous, super beautiful. That's not what the UFC is about. But when it comes to Loren Murphy versus Misha Tate, I would love to see Loren Murphy come out the victor in this time around. In fact, I tweeted to Loren Murphy, hit her 1,000 times per minute or something like that, something great, 100 times per minute, whatever it is. I know that's whatever, but I'm rooting for Loren Murphy this time around, so I'm going to have to put $20 on Loren Murphy. So hopefully she gets the win. We'll see how that goes. Now there's a middleweight bout. This one I wasn't too sure on who to bet for. It wasn't like I would look at the names. Oh, that guy's going to win. It wasn't like that. So I decided to do a little bit of research as far as that goes. I watched a Sean Strickland fight. I watched a few Sean Strickland fights, like when he versed Nordine Taleb and when he versed Alex Garcia, when he versed Bubba McDaniel, and I came up with this. Obviously he has a very strong fight IQ and he has very good accuracy, and he performed a really great choke by Bubba McDaniel, right? That was great. That was fucking awesome when Sean Strickland choked out Bubba McDaniel. And I watched a few Alex Pereira fights. Alex Pereira versus Bruno Silva, Alex Pereira versus Andreas Michailidis, on Alex Pereira versus Jason Wilness. And after watching those three fights and also Sean Strickland's three fights, what really pushed me towards betting for Alex Pereira is likely he'll have Glover Teixeira in his corner for UFC 276, and just the fact that he's being trained by Glover Teixeira and all that, just, imparting that wisdom towards him and all that, and, mix that with his glory days. I'm just going to have to bet on Alex Pereira to win. So it's when it comes to Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira, I know that Sean Strickland is awesome. He's clearly awesome at the sport, and he's very, he has his guard up all the time. I was watching those fights, and it was aggressive conservative, and that's sort of the kind of fighting style you kind of need at that level. You know what I mean? You got to be tight aggressive, like in poker, for example. But anyways, when it comes to Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira, the thing that pushed me towards Alex Pereira is ultimately Glover Teixeira being in Alex Pereira's corner. So I'm going to have to put $20 on Alex Pereira to win. Good luck, Alex. Now, when it comes to Alexander Volkonovsky versus Max Holloway. Max Holloway is a tough son of a bitch. We all know that. We've all seen him fight hundreds of times, not hundreds of times, 23 times, 30 times at least in the UFC or something like that. I forget what it was. There's a high number of that. We've all seen Max Holloway kick ass. And that thing kind of makes me nervous just a little bit, you know what I mean, as far as that goes. But, just Alexander Volkanovsky once said, I'm going to be champion for a long time. And I believe the guy. I feel like he's taking his training seriously. That video of him just scrounging down a meal and all that stuff, taking a few days off and stuff like that aside. But there's also a video of Max Holloway playing a bunch of video games, taking the day off aside. I feel like Alexander Volkanovsky is going to win this one around, I feel like he's going to defend the title. And one of my friends was saying, I feel like Alexander's going to win the title, defense, and then he's going to go up in weight class and win another title. But I feel like for this one, Alexander Volkanovsky versus Max Holloway, I feel like Alexander Volkanovsky is going to win. So I'm going to have to put $20 on Alexander Volkanovsky to win. Now, when it comes to our main event, this one is a tough one. This one is a tough one because as soon as Jared Cannoneer figures somebody out, that somebody is fucking done. You know, for the most part, that's what I've seen. Like, what was it? Brunson versus Cannoneer. When Cannoneer figured out Brunson, you could see it in his eyes. Like, everything went slow motion, like... And he walked right in there and he just, like, destroyed Brunson. So as soon as Cannoneer, if he figures out Adesanya, then Adesanya will be in trouble. But I mean, Adesanya has a lot of different, styles to like switch up his game, right? The style bender, right? That's how that name goes and all that stuff. But like, you're just like, if Cannoneer figures out Adesanya, then it's going to be a very tough one for Adesanya to come out ahead. You know, like I know it's, I know it's all a gamble, 50-50. Anybody can win on any given day. And like, I mean, the fact that Jared Cannoneer is such an underdog, that is a juicy looking bet. You know what I mean? Like if you win this bet, you're winning like 3 times your money back or something like that. But it's just the way things are, the way things feel, the way everybody else is kind of feeling. Everybody's just kind of feeling Adesanya here. And I'm going to have to play with my mind here when I'm making this bet. And I have bet on Adesanya previously, when I started betting in UFC in the first place. So I'm just going to stick with my winner there, Adesanya. And even though like Cannoneer can figure out Adesanya and like completely rock Adesanya's world, I feel like Israel Adesanya is going to come out the victor in this current bout for the middleweight title. You know, so I feel like he's going to defend the middleweight title once again. So for my bet, Israel Adesanya versus Jared Cannoneer, I'm going to have to put $20 on Israel Adesanya to win. So those are my bets for UFC 276. I know it's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be a great show. There's lots of great fights that will happen. And just recently, like that UFC Fight Night Austin, I believe it was like that one was fucking awesome. You know, like I thought Qatar won, but you know, judges are there. I'm here watching, like, whoa, on the edge of my seat. And, but, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, congratulations, Emmett, on that victory in Austin. And, yeah, those are my bets for UFC 276, though. So I hope that everybody enjoys the show. And thank you for watching. Cheers. Respect.